Aloha runners, welcome to the Peacock Ultramarathon Pre Race Brief. I wanted to give everyone the chance to view this presentation online because it allows me to better show you the Peacock course. My name is Rob Leho, and I'm proud to be the Peacock Race Director. I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to jump right into it. First, new thing this year, we're going to try and track the runners with the timing tags. In your race packets, when you pick them up, you'll see 4 timing tags in there. The first 2 we would like to have tied on your shoelace on the outside of both shoes so that you'll be running with 2 tags. The other 2 tags are just in case you change your shoes during the race. You can have that extra set already preloaded on your shoes. You should also have 4 extra safety pins in your race bag. This is just in case you are wearing something like the Vibrams, Crocs, or even, I don't know, some of you high heels or slippers. The extra pins are there so you can pin the tags either directly to your shoe or as a backup you can place them on your hip. But please don't place them anywhere above your hip, because the readers will be pointed down at the shoes and there's a good chance you might get missed. Also, do not, please, I'll ask again, do not tuck your tag into your shoes. The readers have to have a line of sight of the flat side of the tag, and if you tuck them into your shoe, if you tuck the tags into your shoes, the readers will get the thin edge and it won't be able to read the tags. So please make sure that they're just dangling outside your shoes. In the past, we've had problems up at the aid station at Gordon's Loop with phone reception, but we purchased a bunch of equipment and hope to be able to transmit updates from every aid station. So those timing tags will hopefully be able to be automatically updated, and we should track the runners by transmitting the splits to a central computer. We also purchased some like CD radio equipment so that hopefully we'll be able to communicate between all aid stations this year. Speaking of aid stations, I'd like to introduce and thank our aid station captains. The start-finish aid station will be ran by Joel Jenkins. Joel has been running the long road aid station for a while now, and he brings a minimalist approach to Peacock. Long Road is going to be taken over by Heather McCafferty. She's been at the 3-way for the past few years and has made the 3-way aid station a cut above. Augusto De Castro has graciously offered to take over Gordon's Loop this year. Gordon's Loop is meant more of a water station. He might include some snacks, maybe some handbags of chips and stuff like that. But this is meant more of a aid station to get to the 3-way aid station. We usually don't pack a lot of stuff up there, and we ask that if you do use the aid station, if you do use water and stuff at that aid station, that you don't fill entirely all the way up, because it's 2.5 miles through Gordon's Loop until you get to the 3-way aid station. We do have people who have run out at that time, and we wanted to make sure that you had at least a little something to get through Gordon's Loop. And speaking of Gordon's Loop, the last person we'll look at here is the sadistic man, for lack of a better word, who came up with this race course in the first place, Gordon Lau. He will be sweeping the course, and we're going to give him a 50K finish for doing that when he comes in with the last person. Right now, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of volunteers up for the 3-way, so it's looking more and more like I'm going to be taking up my original spot at Rob's Menage a Trois, Rob's 3-way. This means that I might not be at the start-finish to hand out awards and watch you all finish, but I'm hoping to find somebody who can cover the 3-way during Saturday during the day, so I can run down to the start-finish and tend to my RD duties. But if not, I'm perfectly happy over at the 3-way. I hope, the runners don't mind. It's an important aid station, and we got to make sure that aid station is taken care of. So on to the course. Let's get to it. The start line is located at Dillingham Airfield on the north shore of Oahu. It's about a 1-hour drive from Waikiki. We'll start the race as close to 6 a.m. as possible, but I can't make a solid promise about that. It really depends on what time they open the gate and let us through. We asked them to let us in at about 4:30 this year. They said okay, and we'll call them when we get there, but it's always going to be a hit or miss, and I can't make that promise. So it may be 6:15ish, 6, hopefully 6. We'll do our best to get race bags out and in order if you decide to grab your race bag on race morning. I'll be at Runner's High on Friday, October 10th from around 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. to hand out race packets, and I highly suggest you grab your packet on Friday. If you have run the race already within the last couple of years, we're not requiring you to go to like a packet pickup or anything like that. We assume that 99.9% of you know the course already and are familiar and have run it. So we're not making that requirement if you've run it within the last couple of years. If you have not, please make sure you're at Runner's High in Aiea, right next to the Aloha Stadium, before 4:30 so that we can get things kicked off. At 4:30, I will give a quick pre-race brief and answer questions, but if I'm running the three-way, I'm going to have to be out of there pretty quickly by about 5:15 so that I can go stop and get ice and everything that I need, and then make that 2-hour drive up to the three-way aid station before they close the gate at sundown. On Saturday morning, we'll all park in the grass area across from the Dillingham Airfield Tower. I encourage our 100K runners to bring tents and plan on staying the night. In the morning when you get to the Dillingham Airfield, we should have a person there directing everybody to park in the grassy area across from the tower. Once you get there, please check in. We'll all line up on the Kealia Trail side of the fence. When we get everybody together before the race, please make sure you're there for the Hawaiian blessing, and that will include sprinkling water on everyone. And that goes for our aid station crews as well. I want everybody to be safe, and this is a very important way of doing that. We'll start out with everyone going up Kealia Trail to the picnic table, then up towards Ari's Loop. Okay, so the major change that we've made for 2014 is the fact that the 50K runners will be going down Ari's Loop on the first loop. They used to not do Ari's Loop, but this year they are going to. So right here on the first loop, Leo Tani, I think, has volunteered. She's going to be here to direct you guys. The 100K will turn right, and they're going to do the regular short loop that they always do. And the 50K are going to turn left onto Ari's Loop, and they'll be doing Ari's Loop this year. And that's going to be it. They'll do the long loop, and then they will be done. There isn't going to be a Kealia Trail up and back. I was told that having that many people go back up and down Kealia Trail was kind of damaging the flora. So we decided to do this. Plus we wanted people to see the memorial to Ari. It's kind of important to us. So, 50K guys, since you'll be seeing it on your first loop, feel free to bring a lei or flowers and leave them and say hi to Ari. On the map that we're following, we're going to go to the right, just like the 100K will go. This is the short loop. We'll do this first, and we'll do some more explanations along the way, so that the 50K guys, I want you guys to watch this portion as well, because I'd like you to see some of the tricky points. Up here is going to be the first three-way that you'll hit. Right, so when you start out, you'll be coming up this way, up this hill, and you'll come up, and right up here is going to be your first kind of a three-way. And this is the three-way that's right below the three-way aid station. So you'll come up, turn right, and that will take you around to Gordon's Loop, which is over there. Come all the way, then you'll hit the three-way up there, go to Long Road, come back to the three-way, and then when you come back here, again, you're going to take a right. So when you're at that three-way aid station, you take a right. When you get to this aid station, to this three-way, you take a right and head back down to the airport start-finish. It's important to remember that when you are coming off Ari's loop, you'll be coming around and you'll go to the three-way right after you finish that loop. And then you'll be coming down to the second three-way that we just explained, about 400 meters down. You will not turn right at that time. You'll turn left and then go on to Mackay Road and Gordon's Loop. So this is the start of Mackay Road. At this point in the morning, the 100K runners have turned right on that bottom three-way there. The 50K runners at this point will have gone through Ari's Loop, past the three-way aid station, and then since they were on the Ari's Loop, they'll turn left at that bottom three-way. Not much to say about Mackay Road. There's not really any place to get lost. If you don't see a flag at this point, you're pretty much just going to go maybe to a cliff that's going to be overlooking Dillingham Airport or the ocean. You'll obviously know that you're in the wrong spot and just turn around and you'll be right back on the trail. At the most, you'll have gone a quarter of a mile. As you can see, this is a flatter area, kind of downhill, small uphills. So if you don't mind, I'm going to talk real quick about the drop bag. We have two spots you can have drop bags at Peacock. The first is the start finish. Most people just bring their bag and leave that one in their car or their truck because you'll be parking right next to the start finish tent. And when you get back down there for the 100K guys, you can just walk over to your car and grab whatever you need out of your car. The second place is at the end of Long Road, which you'll pass when you drive up to Dillingham Airfield. However, you can bring your drop bag to the start finish and do not need to stop at Long Road on your way up in the morning. Okay, so we're finishing Mackay Road. Here is another area where you can turn right or left. We're going to be turning right, going down into the valley here. And then once we make that hard turn, this is going to take us up a small concrete little road up to Gordon's Loop aid station. So Gordon's Loop aid station will be the first aid station for the 100K. It'll be the second one for the 50K. We do expect the 100K runners to need to use the Gordon's Loop aid station, but once again, we ask that you not fill up entirely because it's only about 2.5 miles until the three-way aid station, and that's the major aid station that we're going to have most of the supplies at. So you're now on Gordon's Loop. It can deceive you. It's got some pretty heavy up and downs on it, especially right around here on the map. There's some areas that can really surprise you on how difficult they are. So now we're finishing Gordon's Loop. Like I said, it's pretty quick, and now we've come to the three-way aid station. And as always at the three-way aid station, we'll turn right, and this is going to take us along a ridge, and this is called the crossover road. I think it's 4.5 miles. Once again, going this way towards Long Road, it's downhill overall, as you can see. I suggest using this time to, if you're going for time, this is a good place to make up and run. I'm not a very fast runner or a very good runner, but I have been known to run all the way from three-way all the way down to the Long Road aid station at times, and for me that's a big feat. If you're not going for time, this is a good time to recover and take it easy and get your quads ready for Long Road, which is coming up. So the crossover road is a Jeep road. It's dirt, and right here we're getting onto a concrete road, which is going to take you down into a valley and then right back up. Once you get to the top of that that hill right there, that's going to be the Peacock Flats camping area. Peacock Flats camping area has a bathroom there. It's right along the concrete road. Actually, it's in the camping area, but you can see it from the concrete road. If you look up, if you need to use the restroom, please use that one. DLNR is trying to make sure that none of our runners use the woods as their restroom. So now we're on to Long Road, and for probably all of you, this is going to be the worst part of the race. It's very open, it's concrete, it's very steep, and it's usually done at a time of day when it's very hot. So this is where I suggest taking it easy. It's going to be hard on your knees going down, and it's going to be quite a climb coming back up. So just drink lots of water, try to recover on the way down, eat on your way down, I suggest, and stop at Long Road Aid Station. Use the restroom there if you need to, get some food, say hello to Heather and her crew, and then turn back around and then start heading back up, because you're pretty close to the finish at this point. All you got to do is go back up the mountain and then come right back down. So now we've turned around from the Long Road Aid Station, and it's time to head back up Long Road. There's about 3/4 of a mile of flat, straight concrete. When you're on that flat, straight stretch of concrete and you're looking up at the mountain and you can see the Long Road Aid Station behind you, also take a look to the right. That land is actually Dillingham Ranch, and Dillingham Ranch owns all that land on Ari's Loop. Once you make that turn onto Ari's Loop until you get back onto the main road, that's all owned by Dillingham Ranch, and they have been kind enough to give us permission to use their land every year. So take a look at the land. I think they have horse stable rentals, and I believe that if you go onto their website, you can see a nice inn. I think they have a place to stay for weddings and stuff like that. So if we have anybody coming from out of state or out of country, I suggest maybe taking a look at Dillingham Ranch and seeing if they have any places open that weekend. That would be a great place to stay, and a great way to support somebody who's been supporting us for 7-8 years now. So at the top of Long Road is, once again, the Peacock Flats campground area. We have rented all the camping spots out, so if you have somebody that wants to go up there to camp and watch you or spectate or something up there, just let them get a hold of me, and we can certainly give them a parking pass and let them park and camp at that campground. If you see anybody else over that weekend camping there, they probably shouldn't be there, because we've obtained all the camping permits for that whole area. I decided to get all the camping permits because we wanted to lessen the amount of traffic up there over that 3-day weekend. Of course, it's still going to be open to anybody who has a day permit. They can drive up there and go 4x4ing or whatever, but hopefully, because there's no camping spots, there will be less traffic or even no traffic. But that is a reminder that this is state land, and they are still going to allow people up there. So we do not have the right of way on any of these trails or any of these Jeep roads. So please be kind to others. If a car is coming, please move out of their way and treat them as you would like to be treated. Okay, so now we're you can see that the red lines on the map suddenly got thicker. Coming up from the right-hand side right there was the end of Ari's Loop, and at the end of Ari's Loop, of course, they'll turn right and head down to the three-way aid station, which we're getting to right now. So we're finished with the crossover, finished with Long Road. Now it's going to be all downhill for us here. Right there at that second three-way, the people coming off of Ari's Loop, of course, will turn left, but to finish up our loop, we're going to turn right and head back down to the airport. This is once again going to be all downhill. At times it's knee-crushing downhill, going down Offshit Hill, and the rest of it is it's relentless. And here is the area where Ari's Loop begins. We're going to come back up to Ari's Loop, and we'll do Ari's Loop, and then I think that's going to be the end of the maps here. I don't know how to get Google Earth to look a different way when you put tracks on there, and yeah, it's just kind of bumping along on this ridge, but you can see how steep it is here. And then you finally get back down and to the start finish. So for the 50K who started out with Ari's Loop and then did the rest, that'll be their finish. For the 100K, it's time to do the long loop, and which means that this is going to be the entire course for the 50 kilometers and the final loop for the 100-kilometer runners. Right there is the picnic table, and right up above, it's all still uphill. Right up above the picnic table is Ari's Loop, where we will turn left. The 100K runners on the second loop, if you'd like, bring something up there, a lei, flowers, something for Ari's memorial. Ari's Loop is a little bit more up and down than the crossover road at the beginning. At the end, it's pretty much all uphill. One of the reasons I didn't want the 50-kilometer runners doing Ari's Loop is because I wanted them to do Offshit Hill. And by doing Ari's Loop, unfortunately, they don't get to climb up that massive hill. But they do get to experience going down it. At the end of Ari's Loop, we turn right, of course, and then it's a short stroll to the three-way aid station. Finally down to that second three-way down there where we turn left. And I think that's going to be the end of this map because we've seen the rest. So just a few other things to wrap everything up. Our drink mix will be from Scratch Labs. It's all natural. I've heard good things about it. It's got great reviews on Amazon. I hope you guys like it. Hopefully you'll be able to purchase some before the race and try it out. The flavor will be the lemons and limes. I'll double check on this one, but there should be bathrooms or a bathroom at the end of Long Road at the aid station there. There will also be a kind of a portable toilet up at the three-way. It's going to be a, one of those pop-up tent toilet things that they got for campgrounds now. But we'll have a pop-up tent bathroom. Basically, it's going to be a big 5-gallon bucket with a seat on it, I believe. I'm not sure. I haven't opened the carton yet. We also have 2 bathrooms at the hangar at the start finish. Those are nicer bathrooms, and we encourage you to use those. However, for our runners and for our spectators, our crew, pacers, please stay on the grassy area. If you go off the grassy area, please go only to the bathrooms and straight back. Please do not wander around. we have made promises that nobody would be wandering anywhere but a straight line to and from the restrooms if they're off the grass or off the trail. And finally, I just wanted to send out a special thank you to Kalani Pascal, who's going to be taking pictures out on the course while you're all out there. And I think that's going to be it for this online brief. If you have any questions, you can always send them to me at staminarace@outlook.com. Or if something comes up that you think about, you can certainly ask it when you pick your packet up on Friday. However, Saturday morning is going to be too busy for last minute questions, so please make sure you have all your questions answered by Friday. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. I want to thank you all for coming out and doing this race with me, going on this adventure with me. First off, I'm a fan of this race. I enjoy watching everyone from the first runner to the last finish. And please feel free to send me any questions that I've left out. Aloha!